Okay, so I took off my glasses because I don't really love how I look with my glasses on. I'm in the cemetery, obviously, you could probably clock that. I was thinking about something in relation to maturity, and I was like, let me record something about this. Let me say something about this. Because, okay, so I'm gonna break it down. I am technically in hermit mode. I don't talk to many people. I don't have many people that I consider to be friends. I'm sure there's a lot of people that consider me a friend, but because of the way that I look at friendship, because of the way that I look at relationships, I do not call many people my friend. And there's this person that I met online who I know they're a real person because also they have social media and I've seen them on social media. And so it's starting to get really windy. I hope that doesn't impact the video quality, the audio quality, but this person seems really cool, really groovy for the most part. Of course, I have a superiority complex. I do tend to believe that I am better than everybody, but this person seems pretty groovy for the most part, and I want to meet them and I want to like work with them potentially. Excuse me, but there is a fear. There is an uncertainty that I'm holding on to, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm not afraid to be like, oh yeah, I'm fucking scared. I'm scared that it could go horribly wrong. I'm scared that it could also go really beautifully. You know what I mean? And what prompted this video was the thought that I don't want to mess this up just because I'm not ready. Because I feel like a lot of people do this thing where they get into relationships either knowing that they're not ready, or maybe they don't know that they're not ready, but either way, they're not ready for the relationship. And a lot of people will self-sabotage, they'll run away, they'll like do little things. And I've never really, like, I feel like I have the awareness, at least in this point in my life, to know when I am self-sabotaging, when I am sabotaging something, you know, and because I also have the thought, if I could be transparent, to block this person. And it wouldn't have been out of malice. It wouldn't have been because they did anything wrong. It would have just been because I don't feel ready for this connection. And once again, I was thinking before I started recording, I was like, I don't want to mess this up just because I'm not ready, you know? And I want to make this video to anybody who has ever been in a relationship where they self-sabotage or they like ruin the connection in a way. Because I feel like this is a thing that happens a lot. Because we all have different energies, we all have different auric fields, we all have different maturity levels, you know? And if you are at a certain maturity level and somebody else is at a certain maturity level and you come together, you're rubbing off on each other, for better and for worse. And when you're someone who is grounded and balanced within themselves, you most likely are also the type of person to be very particular. I'm going to put these glasses back on just because I don't feel like holding them. But yeah, no, when you're a very grounded person, you tend to be very particular about connecting with other people, about forming relationships, because you understand the weight of any given relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a romantic partnership. You understand that there is something deeper there. It's not just, oh, this is my friend, and no, that is potentially a soul bond. You know what I mean? And so I do get very, very scared when it comes to meeting people. And I feel like there's a lot more of that fear when it happens to be somebody that potentially could be something good for my life, you know? Because over the last year, I've met people have come and gone. I've had hookups, I've done things, and I always have it in the back of my head, like, this is what I want. I want something long-term. I want something substantial. I want something magical, beautiful, aligned, synchronistic. You know what I mean? Maybe that sounds too fantastical. I don't know. But I know what I want, you know? And so when I'm connecting with other people who may not know exactly what they want, the real struggle comes from me holding on to what I want and also respecting that they may not know what they want, or they may have what they want. You know what I mean? And I feel like in the last few readings that I've done, the big advice of like putting yourself first, prioritizing yourself, has been coming out. And I appreciate that message because I feel like a lot of people, especially feminine presenting women, or excuse me, especially feminine presenting people, people who tend to be more feminine, more submissive, I feel like a lot of us, and I'm saying us, I don't really personally identify as feminine, but when it comes to relationships, I think I do have a little bit of a feminine overtone. But either way, a lot of feminine presenting people have this thing historically where the masculine just kind of takes over. It doesn't really matter what we want. It doesn't really matter what the feminine wants. It just matters that the masculine has needs and desires, and because they have money and they have power and they have status, it's like, it doesn't really matter what you want. And so the message has been coming out a lot of like putting yourself first. Like, even if you are in a relationship with somebody, even if you are in connection with people, making sure that you prioritize your desires and your wants. And even to the detriment of others sometimes. Like, and I will only say that specifically for people who have faced all of their life being dominated, being oppressed, being told how to think, how to act, how to behave, specifically for those people, for the people who have been oppressed all their lives. Don't give a fuck about hurting nobody. Don't give a fuck about pissing people off, because not everybody, but some of those same people would jump at the chance to like bring you down a peg, and like what I've come to understand is that, and everybody's different, everybody expresses it differently, but a real, genuine, like kind-hearted person is not going to bring you down just for their own comfort. Like, I've had moments where I witnessed somebody shining, being in their bag, being in their purpose, and it made me uncomfortable. Like, I've had those moments. So when I say this stuff, I'm talking from experience. Like, when I say that you're a hater and you need to not be I'm talking partially from, I know what it's like to be a hater, but I don't let that override me. I don't let that take over me. Like when I'm in those moments, I'm just like, okay, I'm uncomfortable. I don't really love this, but you're doing your thing. You're doing what you need to be doing. Good for you. I'm going to cheer you on silently, Like for example, I'm a singer, and if I could be super transparent, I have not mastered the art of singing for other people. I have not officially sang in front of a live audience. I mean, I've sang on live stream. I record music. I record covers, whatever. But I have not mastered the art of singing in front of people and singing with people reacting live. And so there's a little bit of a, I don't know if you would call it trauma or what you would call it, but there's a little bit of a energy when it comes to other people performing and other people singing in front of me. Like, there is a visceral reaction that happens when I'm in front of somebody who is singing, especially if it's good. And I have to catch myself and be like, just because I feel uncomfortable doesn't mean that what they're doing is bad. Very, very simple concept, But a lot of people, when they feel that feeling, instead of thinking about it critically, they just kind of think, oh, well, this feeling is bad. I don't like this feeling, so I need to do something to stop this. No, no, that's not the way to think. Because there's such a thing as eustress and de-stress. And I feel like a lot of us, I talked about this in a reading recently, I think a lot of us misunderstand the difference. A lot of us just think everything is stress, And like, for those of us who have been conditioned to embrace joy, to embrace excitement, you probably understand what I'm saying a little bit better. You understand that there are things that make you excited in a good way and things that make you excited in a bad way, And either way, it's really up to you as the individual how you respond to that feeling. Because a lot of people will be like, well, you made me do this, you made me feel this way, so I did this. And we could use that as an excuse, sure, but at the end of the day, it's like, you are in control of your actions. And so if you don't want to be a good person, then you're not going to be a good person. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I remember I told this, I talked about this in another video, because a few months ago I went to rehab. I admitted myself into rehab because I felt like I needed to. And there was this one person that I witnessed, that I came across, and he was kind of just living, doing his thing, you know, and I was witnessing it and it made me uncomfortable, I think, if I had to articulate it, because to me it seemed like he was being a little bit rude, a little bit inconsiderate. I wouldn't say he was doing anything terrible. I don't think nobody else seemed to have a problem with it as far as I'm aware. I was analyzing him and I was thinking, yeah, he's a little bit inconsiderate. He's not considering that anybody else wants to talk. He's kind of talking over people. And like, that was really just my gripe, if I had to articulate it. But at the end of the day, he wasn't really doing anything terrible. Like, everybody was really vibing with him. Like, I feel like I was the only one who really had a problem with it. And maybe that's not true, but you know what I mean? It was in that moment where I was just like, okay, I'm triggered, I'm annoyed. And he asked me about it. He I guess he saw me fidgeting and he was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay. You didn't do anything. It's not your fault. Because I think he asked me if it was something that he did, and I was like, you're fine. Like, even though I could say, yeah, something he did annoyed me, but it's like, that's, because I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong. They try to project their stuff onto other people, and it's like, sometimes, yeah, sure, you need to be expressive. Sometimes, sure, you need to say how you feel, but other times it's like, girl, why you need to say that? You know what I mean? Like, but yeah. I don't know, because I've always been this way, but the more that I grow in awareness, the more that I try to be careful about it, about connecting with other people. And I wish that other people understood this. Like, I've explained this to other people and they don't really get it. They're like, it's not that serious. And it's like, maybe not to you, but it's like, I think about this shit. Like, anytime I've had friends and I had to like introduce mutual friends or whatever, I try to be careful about that shit. I try to be careful about people's comfort levels. I try to be careful about whether or not somebody might get along with somebody. Like, I try to be mindful of that, because not everybody has the awareness that I have, and not everybody is, you know what I mean? Like, some people are literally just living in the moment. Like, and that's no judgment. Like Ram Dass, yes, be here now, be present, exist in the present moment. But like, you know what I mean? Because I've had a lot of different types of friends. I've had friends that I probably should not have been friends with. I've had friends that were awesome, beautiful, amazing people, And throughout all of these experiences, once again, I think the biggest thing is like knowing how to be yourself while also interacting with somebody who sparks curiosity, who sparks excitement, and I can't say I've always done the best with that. Like, a lot of times I go silent. I kind of like shut down when another big personality comes up. And once again, that's why I'm in hermit mode, because I'm really like, I have a lot of Gemini and Virgo in my chart, and if you know about those energies, they're the social signs, they're the communicators, also Libra ascendant, so there's that. And so I've really been in solitude for the most part. I still interact with people, I still go out of, you know what I mean? But for the most part, I've been in solitude. I've been like staying to myself, doing what I do, not trying to interact too much one-on-one with other people, because I feel like it's really important for me to like know how to interact with others while also truly being connected to myself, because in the past, and probably still now in the present, I have this thing where I like, when I connect with somebody else, I kind of lose an aspect of myself. I kind of like, maybe that's not the best way to say it, but I like a part of me dissolves and reconfigures to kind of connect with the other person, if that makes sense. Like, maybe that's a crazy way to say it. Maybe you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know. But like I do have shapeshifter energy. Like, I have the ability to be like, hey, I see you and I see what you want and I know how to talk to you, so I'm going to talk to you how you want me to talk to you. And I don't love using it. I don't like being, because then once again, it feels like inauthentic to myself. It feels like, and maybe that's not true. Maybe that's not true, but just thoughts. Anyways, this was kind of a jumbled video. I hope that this did something for you. If you're still watching this, I really hope that this does something for you. And if it does, you should definitely consider subscribing. Check out the link tree in the description. Make sure to stay hydrated. Make sure to take care of yourself. And if you have any questions that you want to ask me, you're welcome to join the Patreon. Once again, link tree in the description. And if you join as a paid member, you can ask for a video reading and I will provide that for you, assuming that what you're asking for is reasonable. And yeah, thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Have a good one. Bye.